fans. I didn't have anything. But thank you so much. Thanks for joining me. Josh, you're on fire this morning. I thought your joke was very funny about falling asleep watching Rings of Power but dreaming of House of the Dragon. And then you were very kind to gift 5 memberships. That's so nice of Josh. Josh is very big in the video game space, if any of you are video game fans. Hey, Danny. Yeah, we have a very early stream today. Why do we have such an early stream? Because I've got to go to a screening this afternoon. I'm seeing Don't Worry, Darling. I'm very excited about it. It came together very late. I'm going to go see that. And my review, although, won't go up until Monday. But, however, I was up very late banking videos for you guys for later today and tomorrow. So, at 6 p.m., my Werewolf by Night breakdown will go up. And I'm sorry, it's sitting ready right now, but because of YouTube notifications being only 3 every 24 hours, I'm stuck. And I have to put it up at 6 o'clock after my She-Hulk breakdown went up. It's a domino effect. I don't get She-Hulk up on time, look what happens. Again, I apologize about that. And then I have a nice little surprise for you on Saturday morning. Hey, Darcy. I love the name Darcy. Darcy Keating, hi. Welcome back. Hi, Priest 012. Welcome. All right, so lots of great stuff happening. Ramon, this is a stream today just about Disney's release date changes from yesterday. Hey, Darth Superman. So that's what we're going to be going over. And then, of course, as always, you can ask me anything you'd like at the end of the stream. Let's see here. Rashad, I can't upload more than 3 videos, but it's like important because like my subscribers won't get a notification. So like if it's like D23 or Comic-Con, of course, or if a news story were to break, I'd be like, forget it. I'm just putting this up. But because of the nature of the video and stuff, that's why I'm doing it this way. Hey, I'll watch. All right, everybody, welcome. Okay, so let's get started. Hey, Wes Hart, welcome back. All righty, so I've got visuals. All right, so where did they go? There they are. Okay, so there are the dates that we're going to be discussing during today's stream, the date additions and some changes. And then I have this little arrow so that you know what we're discussing if you are not joining us live. Last millennial, I think that, you never want to make light of somebody, of replacing anybody at a job, although, of course, these are very high-paying jobs. But let's just say we wish they would get their act together. I think that's what I'm comfortable saying. All right, so let's get started. So first up, Next Goal Wins. What the heck is that? That's Taika Waititi's soccer movie, which has been sitting in the can forever. And some people have been like, Taika Waititi doesn't like being at Disney because Thor Love and Thunder didn't do as well as it should have. And where the heck is Next Goal Wins? So the fact that this has been dated is very encouraging for Taika Waititi's relationship with the studio. Will it do well? I mean, Michael Fassbender stars. Let's see a trailer. But it comes out April 21st. That is a very slow time for movies. It's not spring break. And it's actually coming out opposite Evil Dead Rise. And it's actually coming out the week after Renfield. So it's going to be a big horror month. I think Renfield's going to be hilarious. And Super Mario comes out earlier at that month. I'm sure they don't expect to make a lot of money off of this movie. I think, hey, Silverstar 888. I think the idea would be that it would be an awards contender, perhaps, but it's also not really an awards-friendly date. So I think they're just like, let's put it in theaters to have a good relationship with Taika Waititi, and then get that baby on Disney Plus or Hulu. Black Widow. I'm not going to shout out at this press screening. That would not be professional of me because it's a press and industry screening. But I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I will scream internally for her. All right, so yeah, I'm glad that this is still coming out. I think Taika Waititi. I was just talking to somebody about this last night about Thor: Love and Thunder, and if it had done well. And when you take in the rules of $100 million, it was $250 million for that movie. And when you add an extra $100 million for advertising, that's $350. And then you have to keep in mind that studios only get about half of the box office. So they really only made about, $40 million off the theatrical release. I mean, of course, it's the engine that drives it everywhere else. But, and also, I got to tell you, I don't think Thor Love and Thunder looked like it cost $250 million. So, and I think that's because Taika filmed actually a 4-hour movie and was not as disciplined, perhaps, as Disney would have liked someone who was being given that much money to be. So I do wonder what's going to happen with Thor 5. But hope, if it does happen, it'll be probably quite some time from now, because we're losing dates left and right. Marvel's mapping out pretty far ahead at this point, and Thor 5 ain't on the list. Guy from King's Highway, I appreciate when you guys put comments in. That's very kind of you. Super comment, super chat, but try to keep it to what we're discussing, because I don't want to take the conversation too much off what we're doing. But Guy from King's Highway, I do appreciate it. All right, so that's what's going on with Next Goal Wins. All right, next up, hold on. All right, then this surprised me. Haunted Mansion moved from March, which I thought was a pretty crappy release date for a Halloween movie. It moved from March 2023 to August 11th. 2023. I have to tell you that when I saw that, I was like, that movie's probably not very good. That was my guess. I think that's a horrible release date. I mean, nothing good ever opens in the middle of August. And it's also a ridiculously competitive release date. The months, oh, thank you, Michael. Michael gifted 5 memberships as well. Like, if it was the first weekend in August, then maybe I'd be like, okay, maybe they feel they have something special there. But the beginning of August kicks off with the Meg 2, The Trench, and Seth Rogen's animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I think is going to be a very hot title, because he really knows what he's doing these days. Then, opposite Haunted Mansion is not only the Zendaya tennis romantic comedy Challengers, but also now Gran Turismo, which stars David Harbour, which is based on the racing video game, and then also The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which I have to tell you is also another horror movie, which sounds absolutely fantastic to me. It's about the ship that took Dracula's coffin to Europe, to England, and how the crew one by one was killed, and it has David Dastmalchian in it. I mean, who would open a Haunted Mansion opposite that? And then 1 week later, you got Blue Beetle. So that's not only a horrible release date just because it's mid-August, but also it's because of the competition. And also, how does a Haunted Mansion movie come out then? I guess they feel maybe they feel they'll put it there in August and then they'll stick it on Disney Plus in time for Halloween. That actually makes sense to me now that I think about it. That must be what their plan is. So, but again, if they feel this thing's going to need to really make its money on Disney Plus, it must be awful. And Brett says, does this have anything to do with Tiffany Haddish? It makes me wonder if maybe it does. Maybe they feel that the movie's not going to escape from underneath that shadow. Hey, Mr. Riley James. And they feel like, let's just cut our losses. But I think that's, hey, Captain Karib, but they just did a really good presentation at D23 with the director and Jamie Lee Curtis in a Doom buggy. I mean, it just seems absolutely ridiculous. I'm surprised some of you have not heard about Tiffany Haddish. You must not be on the Twitters. So Tiffany Haddish has been accused of partaking. Some people have it confused. This is a similar situation to what happened with Gunn, in that she made pedophilia jokes. However, these weren't, although it's not totally the same, because Tiffany Haddish, really tragically, this was actually a comedy sketch. It was an actual physical activity that involved child actors. Who would do that? Who would be so stupid to do that? And these children, and Gunn just types and tweeted, there's just typing. This actually was acted out. And those children also did not have any parental supervision on the set either. It was just a really big mistake. And those children, this happened a long time ago, by the way, and it was uploaded on Funny or Die. And Funny or Die is also being sued, even though they're like, we didn't produce it, but they were the distributor. It's from like a long, long time ago, at least 10 years ago, I think. And it's a very bad situation. And Tiffany Haddish, of course, has been very apologetic, but it's a really bad thing to have done. And so I don't know if she's going to be able to get out of it. So we'll see how everything goes down. But yeah, so and she's one of the big stars of Haunted Mansion. So I think that is a problem. But it's a big movie. It's got also has Jared Leto in it, by the way. So I don't know who cast this movie. But it also has Owen Wilson, Rosario Dawson, and Lakeith Stanfield, and Danny DeVito. This is a major movie. So for having this to be in the middle of August, I mean, that's just shocking to me. It's just shocking. I mean, if it's not good, Brit says just resize her role. I think at this point I don't know if they can reshoot it. To be honest with you. But yeah, you could try resizing her role. But I think she's a very big part of the movie. I think she and Owen Wilson, it's like largely a two-hander between the two of them. And everybody else is kind of like coming in and out of the picture. So for Leto, Danny, it's like a cameo, but he's the guy with the hat box, which they're adding to the Haunted Mansion attraction. Will the animatronic have Jared Leto's face? That would be insane. Woo! Jared Leto and Johnny Depp. Hey, Jake. Getting real-time animatronics. It's like, what a club. But yeah, so let's see what happens. But I mean, it's been a rough couple of weeks for Haunted Mansion, and this is, I think, a really bad development. All right, so next up, Wish, the animated movie Wish, which of course is with Ariana Grande. Hold on. This is moving this actually got dated for, what do you know, Thanksgiving 2023. So that's going to come out. Disney loves Thanksgiving. All their, Ariana DeBose, you're right. My bad, I'm sorry. Ariana DeBose. Sorry about that. Thank you very much. Ariana Grande is going to be in Wicked. So yes, Ariana DeBose, who of course was also at the Emmys with Angela Bassett. She's everywhere right now. She has a fabulous agent and publicist. So this is the LGBT Disney animated fantasy, Wish. Hey, welcome. Thank you. I'm afraid I believe that's Hebrew. I'm afraid I don't read Hebrew. I'm sorry. So Wish comes out November 22nd, 2023. And so that's pretty clear. Disney owns Thanksgiving. It's very successful. We'll see how Strange World does this year. But yeah, it's just Thanksgiving. Every year, Disney will release an animated movie for Thanksgiving because it's a huge 5-day weekend here in the United States, and they want the whole family to come and see their movie for Thanksgiving. This comes out though the week before. Hollywood's not just giving Thanksgiving to Disney in 2023 because the week before you have 3 huge movies coming out that are clearly trying to capitalize on Thanksgiving weekend as well. You have Trolls 3, the animated franchise with Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake, which of course is extremely successful. Hey Nicholas, welcome back. Dune Part 2 with Florence Pugh will be coming out that weekend as well. That's going to be huge. That's going to be really hard to beat because I think Dune is a pretty hot ticket at this point. And then also the Hunger Games prequel, which I don't know if anyone's going to see that, but that also comes out the week before. Oh, that's tough. I don't really know. I think that would be tough. Wish better be really good and have really great music to be able to compete with that. I think that's going to be hard. So that's great. We love a competitive marketplace. All right, that's right, Evan Moore. Dune and Hunger Games come out on the same day, except unless one of them blinks. And I tell you who it's going to be. It's going to be Hunger Games because Dune ain't moving for shit. Because Dune is such an incredibly successful franchise at this point, and people are extremely excited about it. So it's going to be Dune can plop itself down wherever it wants. All right. So next up, Rogue Squadron was, as I told you, removed from the schedule. People were like, "Why is Rogue Squadron still on this release schedule?" Well, now it's not. The trades were very polite about this. They were like, the window is closed for Patty Jenkins to be able to make this release date. I'm like, she's never going to make any release date with this movie. I think, yes, Wonder Woman 1984 was really, really a problem. I told you, I enjoyed the film. I did think that it made problematic choices, but I did not anticipate those choices would torpedo the film. I still feel to this day that its biggest problem was lack of action. I think that if Wonder Woman 1984 had more action, it would have done considerably better. And people would have maybe been more forgiving to the way the film turned out. Also, it made the tragic mistake of a lot of old Batman movies, is that where it had two villains, and one of them got incredibly shortchanged. Which is, always the way, and that was Cheetah, which was ridiculous because Cheetah is the big villain and should have been the main person to compete with. Also, Kristen Wiig, I thought, tried her hardest, and I thought the comparisons to me were quite amusing. I thought that was funny. And I liked the work that Kristen Wiig did, but I just don't think that she was the right casting to get the fan base excited about the movie. It just did not work out. And Patty Jenkins really owned it. As you might recall, Patty Jenkins was like, finally, nobody told me what to do on this movie. That, as Barbie Minaj pointed out, and as I reported, she got rid of everybody on the first movie that she worked with that she didn't personally bring in. And it was a really huge mistake. And Josh, that's right. I agree with Josh, and I talked about it a lot when the movie was being even advertised, that to get rid of Wonder Woman's sword and shield was a really dumb move. Patty Jenkins wanted her to be non-violent, but she is a superhero warrior, and that's just really stupid. And Alan Heinberg, you're right, Lloyd. Alan Heinberg, who also is behind Sandman, which is a delight, should have been kept on to write the screenplay for the second film as well. So Patty Jenkins just really, went from hero to zero. She went in the opposite direction of Hercules, just like that. And I think her Cleopatra movie's probably dead. I think what the problem is that studios might have an issue of trusting her taste now. They might have been like, how on earth did you feel this was good? So I think this is a real problem. So I don't think to be honest with you, I don't think Rogue Squadron will ever be made. It's too bad. It's a great idea for a movie. Does Kathleen Kennedy have the guts to fire Patty Jenkins, whose father was a pilot, an Air Force pilot, and that was her whole personal connection to the movie, and get somebody else in there? I would, to be honest with you, because in Rogue One, my favorite part of that movie was the aerial battle in the third act. I was like, this is incredible. And I still am on the edge of my seat when I rewatched it recently for Star Wars Day. So I would just say, it didn't work out with Patty, and I would fire her, and I would go and get somebody else on this film, because it's too good a movie not to make. So I guess I'll amend my comment. I do feel there's a chance Rogue Squadron will be made someday, but I don't think Patty Jenkins will direct it. I think they'll get another, much better action director to take it over. Now, as you see my note there, the next Star Wars movie isn't slated until December 19th, 2025. That's 3 years from now, and we're already in the midst of a break. They wanted to hit pause on Star Wars movies, and boy, did they. Barbie Minaj, Christopher McQuarrie is a great choice. He's great at doing anything. And I agree, Joseph Kosinski. Josh, you're MVP today in today's stream. Yeah, I think, hey, Jennifer S., I love your picture. That's really fantastic. But yeah, I feel like, so what's coming out in December, the next Star Wars movie? There's no way that's up against Secret Wars, because it's the same studio. Steven, that's a great comparison, Steven. I think Taika and Patty both bought into their own hype and were given no boundaries to both end making disappointing follow-ups. That is really a smart follow-up, Steven, and I think that comparison is very, very, very good. Wicked is what comes out just a few days later for Wicked Part 2. Thank you very much. But let's see. They're saying that this first Star Wars movie up will be Taika Waititi's movie. But after what happened with Thor, I got to tell you, I don't know who would feel comfortable giving him the kind of budget that you would need for a Star Wars movie. Are you still as excited for Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie as you were before Thor: Love and Thunder? I would be very nervous. I don't think it's going to be Rian Johnson either, Brett. I think that it's going to be, and I think Kevin Feige, no way does Kevin Feige have time to make a Star Wars movie. I appreciate his wanting to do it, but look, nobody here is still excited. That's really a bad sign. I mean, you guys are, I appreciate your honesty, but although Marduk is like, hell yeah. Good for you, Marduk. But I think that it's just I lost my train of thought there. But I just think that it's just a very bad situation. I think, Kevin Feige. He's got no time to make a Star Wars movie. I think that he's kidding himself. He doesn't have enough time to do what he's doing, because I think there's been a real drop in quality across the board in the Marvel projects. I wonder if we'll look back at the day that they announced Disney Plus series and be like, they made too many. I really do think that that's kind of the problem. And then also I do think that Disney's political issues are unfortunately giving, hey, ye old gamer, that's fantastic. I do think that people are really eager to jump on Disney because of the political aspect. Because, for instance, some people are, I think, being very unfair about The Woman King, which really makes me angry. Fabulous movie. It came out today. Go see it. I'm seeing it again this weekend. But I saw a number of people who were trying to discredit the film, being like, ooh, I can't believe Disney released this movie. It's a Sony movie. The Woman King is from Sony. So absolutely ridiculous. But a lot of people really have it out for Disney right now in the conservative space. And so they're just looking. But I wish Disney would stop giving them cannon fodder, quite frankly. Don't help your critics. What are you doing? Let's see here. Sorry, Shashank. I'm sorry. Darth Superman says, I wouldn't give Taika Waititi a Star Wars movie, maybe a supporting role. That's funny. It's funny because it's true. I think Taika Waititi is a delightful actor. And I think he would... I'd like Taika Waititi. I just wish he would become a little bit more disciplined as a filmmaker. Simon Foley says Viola Davis or Michelle Yeoh for the Oscar. I think that's going to be the big matchup. And I think Michelle Yeoh will win in the end because Viola Davis already has an Oscar. Although I have to tell you, having seen both movies, while I love Michelle Yeoh's performance, Viola Davis's performance is transformative. It is the role of a lifetime. She produced it herself. It is one of the most incredible things that I've ever seen. She does some of the coolest, most badass stuff ever in that movie, and she has a wonderful dramatic thread. I just can't say enough good things about The Woman King. And it's very honest. We're getting off track, but it's very honest about the slave trade and how that kingdom was involved in that. And I know that the French eventually beat them in combat, but this movie does not cover that. This is like a couple of years before that. All right, let's get on to the next thing here. All right. See, Lloyd agrees. Viola Davis in anything. Viola Davis recently talked about having trouble getting work as a woman of color and a dark-skinned woman of color in Hollywood, and it was appalling to hear. And I'm really glad that Viola Davis did this herself and produced this movie, and she really did a wonderful job. Her action sequences, I mean, you haven't lived till you've seen Viola Davis in an action sequence, and she was tremendous. It was so good. I'm so excited to see it again. All right, so 2024. Elio, which is that kid gets mistaken for a Earth ambassador to the alien United Nations, comes out March 1st. That's a pretty good release date for a Pixar movie. It's got a lot of competition, though, yet again. Kung Fu Panda 4, the week right after. I mean, that's tough. I mean, it's fun, though. I'm glad we're getting back to a competitive movie space because a lot of times movies have just been given free reign for too long, and we've had large periods of dead time. We're in one right now, even though I think there are a lot of great movies at the theaters this weekend. See How They Run, I want to see that, and also The Woman King. But I'm excited to have more big blockbusters coming out. So yeah, Elio will come out. It's going to go up against an action drama, The Fall Guy, with Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling. That sounds pretty great. But then also you've got Godzilla vs. Kong 2 coming out the week after Kung Fu Panda 4. So let's see if Elio. Let's see. I hope it's competitive enough to exist in that space. I think that I certainly don't want to see Pixar go to be a franchise that only releases movies on Disney Plus. But I got to tell you, Elio to me seems like maybe it should be on Disney Plus. But I think that Pixar is pretty upset with Bob Chapek for hurting them with releasing 3 movies in a row exclusively on Disney Plus, and I don't know if he can get away with that anymore. I'm not going to watch Pearl, Guy from King's Highway. I'm not a horror fan. I mean, I saw the Jeffrey Dahmer trailer this morning, and it was hard for me to even get through that. It looked incredible, but it was just too gross. And also, I know that Ryan Murphy is not going to pull any punches. So I'm sure it'll do very well. I'm a big fan of the talent. I'm blanking. How am I blanking on the name? Ralph Boner is the star. So I think it's just too much for me, though. In terms of horror, Evan Peters. Thank you very much. Yeah, love Evan Peters. But yeah, and he looks like he's doing a great job, but it just looked really disturbing. I don't know if any of you, and it was so sad too, when that first victim is brought in. I just thought that was just tragic. Really, truly the story of a monster. All right, so Elio, March 1st. All right, next up, this was good. Disney's Snow White was dated for Memorial Day weekend. That's Memorial Day weekend in 2024. So Little Mermaid will be Memorial Day weekend next year. And then Disney's Snow White will be Memorial Day weekend the year after that. Isn't this the Pasek and Paul? Aren't they the ones who redid this? If Pasek and Paul, who did The Greatest Showman, are involved, I think it might be fantastic. So, it's May. You're right. Typo. I put March. That's actually May. I'm sorry. That should have been a 5. Darn it. Is it March 22nd? Hold on. Maybe I didn't do it right and I read it wrong in my mind. Oh, yeah, it is. It is. I'm sorry. Record scratch. All right. So Disney Snow White actually comes out in March. It comes out March 22nd, which is right smack in the middle of the spring break. Sorry, I'm not used to a morning stream. So this comes out in March. March is a fantastic date. As Kaylin pointed out, Beauty and the Beast came out in March. Captain Marvel made $1 billion coming out in March. The Batman came out in March and made tons of money. I don't drink coffee, Danny. I drink lots of iced tea. That's what I like to drink. And Diet Coke. I'm not supposed to drink Diet Coke, though, so largely iced tea. Thanks. You guys, thank you for being understanding. You're very nice. I'm also worried about timing because I got to make it to the screening. I wanted to start the stream a little earlier, but it did not happen. All right. So Disney Snow White, smack in the middle of spring break. Spring is a great time for a Snow White story. And I hope this does well. I think that Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot did a very nice job presenting at D23. I think the logo looks beautiful. So I'm excited about this. However, again, that's very close to Elio, by the way. And also the week after this, guess what comes out? Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, the animated movie from Sony. And I think that is going to be very, very, very tough competition because that fandom has really grown. Even though the original animated Spider-Man movie didn't do so well, since then, because it was on Netflix for an extremely long time, it really had a glow up in terms of fandom. So that's going to be quite the back-to-back fun. I mean, that's a great spring break. Well, first we watch Snow White, then we watch Spider-Verse. It's going to be amazing. So we'll see how Snow White does. Chad, they never said what they did about the dwarves in Snow White. Might just be Snow White hanging out with regular-sized people. Let's see. I mean, does she have to have dwarves? I mean, it's kind of the whole story, but they're not in the title. So they're not in the title. So I guess Disney's keeping it close to the vest on that one. All right, next up, Inside Out. Woo! I hated that first movie so much, but here comes the sequel. I hated it, but would I greenlight it Inside Out too? Maybe, because it made so much money. I'd be like, people like it. People like it. So Inside Out 2 comes out June 14th. June is a classic month for Pixar. Almost all Pixar movies come out in June. So this comes out June 14th. There's really nothing scheduled until later in that month, but it's Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. And also Despicable Me 4 comes out a little bit less than a month after for 4th of July weekend. The Despicable Me movies are incredibly successful, particularly overseas. But Inside Out is a big brand. Inside Out is kind of the big movie that Pixar needed. So this could do well. I think this is a good movie. Personally, I don't care for it, but I think this is, from a business perspective, a good sequel to make, and I think it has a very good release date. Although, Lightyear crashed and burned in June, but I think for many, many, many reasons, Lightyear had problems. And it's done okay. It did very well its first week on Nielsen, but then the bottom really fell out from underneath it. Then, talk about great release dates. Mufasa, The Lion King, comes out July 5th for the 4th of July weekend. Hi, Riley. Riley, like from Inside Out. Welcome back. That's fantastic. Mufasa, hey, Ty. Mufasa for 4th of July weekend, that's going to be huge. And remember, that means that Stephen, hold on one sec. Well, Stephen, I don't know if that's necessarily true because it just seems ridiculous that they would offer such a small amount of money to two huge superstars at this point in their career. But anyway, if it opens on July 5th, that would mean that Thursday night showings would be on July 4th. I think that that's just an absolutely phenomenal release date for this movie. You couldn't get a better release date. I agree with Kay Walton. $1 billion in like 8, the first made $1 billion in like 8 days. The sequel, it's going to make a lot. Danny, Mufasa, The Godfather. That's right. It is kind of like The Godfather Part 2. It's going to be a really big hit. And that is, let me see what's going on else in July. But that's just, it's perfectly dated. Jordan says, I hope Mufasa is good, but I'm worried about it. You don't mess with the legend. They are changing a lot of his origin story. But Barry Jenkins, as Lloyd pointed out, Barry Jenkins, I have a lot of faith in him. I think he's a really strong filmmaker. Even his TV series, Underground Railroad, has been very well received. So I feel pretty good about it. Only other thing really slated for that month is Transformers: A New Generation. So I think Lion King is going to clean up. And that it's going to go head-to-head with Despicable Me 4. But actually, in that matchup, I would be a little bit nervous if I were Despicable Me. I think Mufasa as a live action, basically CGI animated movie is going to be almost impossible to compete with. What do you guys think? What do you think in that? Who would you bet on in that fight? Despicable Me 4 or Mufasa? Minions versus Mufasa. Yeah, I mean, everybody feels it's Mufasa. As Juan said, Despicable Me's not going to want to move, though. Oh, look, Shantuno says that they think that Despicable Me 4 might do it. Despicable Me has been released for 4th of July weekend almost the entire time that franchise has been around. And they have a number of those movies have made $1 billion or come close to it. So they're not going to move apart. They're only 2 days apart, these movies. They both open on opposite sides of July 4th, July 3rd, and then this one July 5th. So it's going to be tough. All right, then, I liked this one. Marvel moved one of their to-be-determined films from February 16th, 2024 to Labor Day weekend. I told you Labor Day weekend was a great release date, and nobody was taking advantage of that since Disney created it with Shang-Chi. And Equalizer 3 is supposed to be coming out this coming Labor Day weekend for 2023. But let's see, if they keep doing this National Cinema Day at $3, that could be a bit of a problem. But that is fantastic. That is an absolutely wonderful date. We'll see what gets put there. It hasn't been determined. But I think Labor Day week, no, Juan, I just looked it up. That's Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend falls late in 2024. It's September 8th. Let me look at it again. Let me look at it again. Hold on. What a morning. 2024, September. Oh yeah, damn it. It's early. That's not Labor Day weekend. It's the week after. Ah, crap. All right. It's not that. It's the week after. So let's see what it's coming out against. I apologize. Who said that? Juan, you were correct. Thank you. Hoy, what a morning. That's right, Riley. I can't believe I'm awake for this live stream either. Keltrick, that is an adorable picture, Keltrick. It's really hard for me to be excited for any of this stuff. I have massive franchise exhaustion at this point. I'm only 24, but I am going to be 50. And the most exciting film is going to be Lion King Part 25. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I have to say, one of the reasons that I like Top Gun Maverick and I like The Woman King so much is that they weren't franchise films. They were just great. They felt like instant classics, both of them, like Hollywood used to make them. And I think that people are hungry for that. I think that that's something Hollywood should consider. All right, let's go look at September. So I guess they can still do National Cinema Day. All right. So September 6th, the weekend after. I was looking at the 8th, which was Sunday, and it was red. Ugh. All right, so then that month, it's so far out, there's really nothing there. You've got an untitled Blumhouse in the middle of the month, and then some Universal movie at the end of the month. How's August look? There's nothing for August 2024, apparently. I think that July 2024 is Thunderbolts. Yeah, the end of July is Thunderbolts. So that's very close for those Marvel movies. That's really just a month in between? That doesn't make any sense to me. That's extremely close. The Thunderbolts would only have a month before another Marvel movie? That seems dumb. But let's see what they do. I mean, we keep saying Marvel's too big to fail, and Kevin Feige's like, hold my beer. So let's see. The only real failure I think that Marvel has had has been Eternals and Ms. Marvel in terms of viewership. Although right now, She-Hulk with his first episode ain't looking so good on Nielsen, which we'll discuss on Movie Math on Sunday. But hopefully it'll get more up there. I think She-Hulk was doing really well until episode 4 when it hit I think the end of episode 3, but people were still interested in the twerking. But as soon as She-Hulk hit episode 4, like the bottom just fell out of it. It was really strong up until then, but I think it's taken too long. So I don't know. I mean, Daredevil can't show up fast enough, quite frankly. I just hope she'll put on her super suit and hit something, quite frankly. All right, so those are the new release dates. So you can ask me anything you'd like. I do have time until 11:35. I do have time to get to my screening. So until 11:35, you can ask me anything you like about anything. Thank you for joining me so ridiculously early. Lloyd Lester says, Grace, your thoughts about a Blade Runner series officially coming from Ridley Scott? I'm excited. I hope it's more commercial than Raised by Wolves, which I really loved for 2 seasons. But I thought with the second season, it got a little hard to follow. I hope, I think that Blade Runner 2049, I had major problems with as a movie, and I thought I enjoyed parts of it quite a bit. I remember I got into a fight with a lot of you about that movie, but it was a little boring and it didn't do very well, as you might recall. Ryan Gosling strikes again with his limited appeal. Let's see if Barbie can break him out of that pattern. But I gotta tell you, honestly, from a business perspective, I'm like, great, something for me to break down. And if I were Amazon, I would 1,000% greenlight that show. I'd at least get one good season out of it, quite frankly. Riley says, honest opinion, will we get a Wanda movie? I gotta tell you, they're starting a new Wanda comic. They just gave Agatha Harkness a cool new, more youthful redesign in the comics. They know what they have. But I think that you're gonna see Wanda obviously, pop up somewhere else first. So let's see what that looks like. I think if Wanda gets a movie, it will be more of like a magic movie. And then how do you give Wanda a movie and not Doctor Strange? Why don't you have Doctor Strange 3? Like, who really was responsible for the success of Doctor Strange 2? I'll tell you right now, it was Wanda. So she really should get a movie, but I haven't heard anything about her. I haven't heard anything about one being in development. And I think, what would that movie be? Wouldn't it be basically a Young Avengers movie with the Children's Crusade? And then Wanda wouldn't be the star of her own movie. So I think that's another problem for a Wanda movie, that there's no comic book to base it on. So maybe that's why they're doing this new comic, so that maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, someone will write them a good story in the comics and they can say, oh, it's based on the new comic that recently came out. All right. Let's see. I want to make sure I missed some things here. Hold on, I'm getting to them. Pokemonly fan. That's very clever. Welcome. Let's see here. Jim says, Grace, thoughts on the Little Mermaid backlash? Scary. I knew that was coming because I had seen I actually had blocked at least one person for writing. I thought, I don't have a problem with strong opinions in the comment sections on my video, but I had seen truly racist and violent things said about the movie, and I had blocked that person because of it. It was horrific. And so I knew that it was going to be particularly bad. I did not anticipate things being so bad for the Woman King, which I find quite distasteful and shocking. They're just going to have to soldier on. But so it is scary. I think to see that kind of level of hate, if you don't like it, just don't pay attention to it. I think to see that level of hate is really horrible, and I hope that Halle Bailey doesn't let it get to her. I think people have to remember a lot of the times that a person's comments and behavior is more of a reflection on them than it is on you. And I hope that Halle Bailey keeps that in mind. I think she has a really wonderful support group around her based on what I know. And what I've seen, I mean, I don't know, I don't have any sources on Halle Bailey, but based on what I've seen on her social media and stuff and her interviews, I think that she's probably in a good space. Bobby says, thanks for the early stream. I got to listen during my morning deliveries. Oh, it's my pleasure. That makes me feel so nice keeping you company. Let's see here. Oddly specific. I always, Audra, your avatar and your name have really stuck in my head. What software do you use for live streams and video editing? Also loved Raised by Wolves. I'm using OBS for live streaming, and I use Adobe. Although I recently got a new laptop and it renders stuff like that. And I'm like, my desktop takes forever. It takes like 20 to 30 minutes to render a really long video. Like when my House of the Dragon breakdowns, I do those on my laptop because they're so late. And that renders like in 5 minutes, less than that. I just can't believe it. It's like zoop. And I'm like, holy crap. But on this desktop, it will take the same breakdown about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes to render. But I don't really want to buy a new desktop right now. So, but that's interesting. I find that very interesting. So it's worth paying for the souped up stuff. Thomas says Severance Season 2. I will definitely cover Severance Season 2. I can't really go back and cover an old show, but Severance has become such a hot property. I'm going to be all over that for Season 2. Kaylin says, do you think Margot Robbie could win an Oscar for Babylon or Barbie? I don't see it, quite frankly. But I think she really needs a huge hit. She needs a big box office hit at this point. So I hope that Barbie is that for her. Darth says, thoughts on Gal Gadot saying she doesn't mind joining the MCU. Well, that must mean her phone ain't ringing for Wonder Woman work, although she is in Shazam. But she probably filmed that such a long time ago, she's not even thinking about it. I don't know. I really like Gal Gadot, but I do feel that her acting was kind of indefensible in Wonder Woman 1984, and so it makes it hard for me to advocate putting her in other projects. Callaghan says, do you still want Taika to do Thor 5? I really don't. I don't know if I'd go that far, Callaghan, although I certainly understand where you're coming from. I think that I really liked Thor Ragnarok, so I think maybe, yeah. And also his casting of Hercules I felt was inspired. So I would like a more responsible Taika Waititi to direct Thor 5, who has a script going in. Diego. Oh, run, Diego, run. You're trying to catch up on the stream. That's funny. Let's see here. Danny says, Grace, why is Margot Robbie not clicking with the general public? That's a loaded question, but I'll fall for it. I'll answer it because I'll give you my honest opinion. I think Margot Robbie is a very good actress. She's obviously stunning. I think she really looks a lot and acts a lot like a movie star. But I think the reason that she is not clicking is that I think that her roles and her persona seem very looks-based and not personality-based. Like Emma Stone also has all the same wonderful qualities, although Emma Stone is personality-based in her appeal. And I really think that Margot Robbie should stop taking roles where she is the hot one. She's done it enough. We all get it. And I think that she does, I don't think she needs to do it. Like that was her whole role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I just, that's a very hard role for any actress to play. And as I said the other day, Marilyn Monroe never played that role, even though Marilyn Monroe was famous for being sexy. Marilyn Monroe always was oblivious to how attractive her characters were supposed to be. And she was mostly a comedian. She's a very, very talented actress, Marilyn Monroe. So I think that Margot Robbie should, but let's see, she has Barbie coming up, which I think she's perfectly cast for. And I also, she's in this new Amsterdam movie, which she might do a great job there too. So let's see. Every time I feel like maybe Margot Robbie's not going to work out, she'll come and give a performance and I'll be like, that was incredible. Like a Bombshell. That movie about behind the scenes, the harassment at Fox News. She was really great in that movie. Devin says, no spoilers needed, but do you have any idea where She-Hulk is going? Halfway through the season and no through line. I think I told you my theories about, pretty much confirmed about Todd. But yeah, it's pretty meandering. It's pretty shocking, actually. I know I think one of the reasons it might feel meandering is that they recut the order of all the story points. So, like, for instance, her origin was supposed to be later. So I think it's just kind of like just a mess. Danny, Anya Taylor-Joy is a really good comparison to what I was just talking about with Margot Robbie. Anya Taylor-Joy, stunning in The Queen's Gambit, to the point that a Netflix or it was some kind of producer made an inappropriate comment about her at the Emmys, which was really distasteful and horrible. But Anya Taylor-Joy totally focused on her personality, and she was great also in Last Night in Soho. Nuno, the Werewolf by Night breakdown is going up, as I said at the top of the stream, at 6 p.m. tonight. It is uploaded. It is ready to go. And the only reason that I am sitting on it is because I need to make sure that a notification goes out to subscribers. But I finished it last night. It is uploaded. It is ready to go. It is scheduled to publish. So it will definitely go up at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brett says, Grace, I saw that you're keeping your older phone. I just wanted to let you know phones moving forward will have magnets. Well, then I don't know what I'm going to do. But it was a combination of I have some other expenses right now. Like at first I was like, oh, it's $600 to fix this phone because my Apple Care ran out. And then I was like, oh, it's only $1,000 for the new phone, so I guess I might as well upgrade. But then they were like, well, actually, it's $1,400 with taxes and Apple Care and all that stuff. And I was like, we're way past $600 at this point. Let me just get my phone fixed because I'm buying some other things. So I'm trying to be a responsible adult, which is hard when you like Apple products. Mandy says, what's your iced tea order, Grace? Where do you get it from and what brand is your favorite? Oh, that's great, Mandy. I like black tea, unsweetened. Just that's it. I don't put anything else in it. And I make it actually, I make it myself. And I also like to get it at a lot of places in New York City. Starbucks makes a very good black iced tea. But I'll often go to like any place that sells like breakfast pastries and coffee. Like San Ambrose is a place here in New York City, San Ambrose. I also like Blued, places like that. And it's delicious. I'm like, the largest black iced tea you have, please. Let's see here. Darth Superman says, any tea on Warner Brothers DC next move? I haven't heard anything. And I think they're like, who? I told you, I don't think anybody wants that job to run DC films because you have to cancel the Snyderverse and nobody wants to be the one to do that. So good luck filling that position. Let's see here. Bryce says, any thoughts on the future of Young Justice? I don't know. I mean, you guys really like it. And you keep telling me to watch it, but I can't make myself watch Young Justice, and I can't make myself watch Rings of Power. So it's, it's tough. But I know some of you really like it, so I hope it gets renewed. Danny says, Grace, are you excited for Christmas? I'm excited for Christmas 24/7, Danny. I can't wait. Nicholas says, hey, Grace, any thoughts on Scream 6, New York setting? I actually had not heard that, Nicholas, but I think that's a great idea. New York's pretty crazy right now. I think Ghost would just blend right in. Keith, I'm not sure when my next wave of merch is coming out. I wanted to give you guys a break. I thought I was asking you to buy too many t-shirts and mugs. So I've been like, it's interesting, Keith, that you would like some more merch. I wasn't sure, but I'll see. Because I was thinking of doing a movie math line. Kaylin says, do you think we will get our first look at Melissa McCarthy's Ursula in the next Little Mermaid trailer, and when might we see that? Probably for sure, I would think. I hope, or at least a tease. I think you got to see her. I think you got to see her a little bit. But I hope that, you guys are very sweet. I hope that, when do I think they would have a trailer for that? Probably at Christmas time, I would guess. That would be maybe in front of Avatar. That would be my guess. Or in front of Strange World. Strange World could probably use it. Although I never understand why they're like, oh, my trailer's in front of this movie, go see it. And you're like, but I can just see it online. That's why I'm like, every time Christopher Nolan's like, only release my trailer in theaters. I'm like, that's so stupid, Christopher. Welcome to the 21st century. Jennifer, I'm so glad you like your hoodie. That makes me so happy. What did Mikey say that sounds incredible? Has a subway chase scene. That does sound incredible, Mikey. Black Widow says, are you a woman king, one-woman show? Do you have a team? There are some people I work with in the grander scheme of things, but I do all my videos myself. It's largely for the matter of speed. I used to have an editor, but then I would have to go over the things anyway, so I was like, what's the point? And I just like doing it myself. I have a great sense of satisfaction. Like when I finished my Werewolf by Night trailer breakdown last night, I was like, you know what? That turned out really well. Like sometimes I'll drag my feet making a video because I don't have faith in it. I'm like, I don't think this is going to turn out. I don't know what I want. I mean, I have to really feel the mood, unless something's like a breaking story. I'm like, I got to feel it. And, sometimes even with live streams, I'm like, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about today. But then every time I just, that's a good rule I would say to everybody in life. Just force yourself to do something. Even if you think it might not work out. I mean, obviously don't put yourself in any danger or anything like that. But even if you think something might not work out or I think it might not be good, just go for it anyway. Because you never know. And I think 9 times out of 10, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. That's a rule I've had in my life. And I think women in particular, but I think that's not true. That's not fair anymore. I think men deal with the same self-esteem issues as well. But, you just got to get out there. I highly would recommend that. Kaylin says, Grace, could we see Quinta Brunson and or Sheryl Lee Ralph level up to a bigger franchise or more opportunities since they both have Emmys now for Abbott Elementary and it's such a big hit? Well, the problem with a network show is that they have to make so many episodes for network. Although, of course, a number of talent from The Office, for instance, when that was popular, leveled up to movies and stuff like that. And I think you could see Quinta Brunson is such a multi-hyphenate. She does all of her own stuff. She created the show. I could see Quinta Brunson maybe deciding to write a movie and film that maybe during the summer break for the show. And she's very smart, so I could see her doing that. But yeah, I think definitely Quinta Brunson is a talent to watch, for sure. Sheryl Lee Ralph, I can see her. I don't know if she's going to level up in a huge way, but when they need to cast someone in these true crime, Ryan Murphy miniseries and stuff like that, of course, give Sheryl Lee Ralph a call. I think for sure. Amber Lee Rose says, is Spider-Man 4 still being made? They're definitely going to make another I haven't heard anything about it, but they're definitely going to make another group of Spider-Man movies. I think Tom Holland wants to take a break because he's been Spider-Man for so long, and I think he wants to make other movies. I think most of those movies will tank because all his other movies have tanked. So I think Tom Holland will always come back to Spider-Man because it's the backbone of his career. So he's going to probably take a break. I thought it was interesting he did not accompany Zendaya to the Emmys. I think they really value their privacy. But I think that he's going to take a break. I think he's going to negotiate an incredibly lucrative deal for himself. And then they will make another trilogy of adult Spider-Man movies. And I can't wait. I'm so tired of teenage Spider-Man. I can't tell you. I'm sick of it. He hasn't been a teenager in the comics for a decade. Jerome says, Grace, why do you hate magnets? I just worry about the magnetic fields. Whelm says, I'm going to have to turn your own words against you. Watch Young Justice see. That's very funny. All right, I'll try and watch it. I'll try. I have a lot of stuff I got to watch. I'm working my way through Frasier. No, but I have to do stuff for work. For instance, the other night I was doing my notes for House of the Dragon. Oh, I'm so excited to cover House of the Dragon this week. And I had to rewatch the episode, take my notes, and then do my script, write out my script. Hey, Nolof. And I have to tell you that the whole process, I was like, oh, it's a little early. It was I started at 10. I was like, I don't want to go to sleep this early. I'll do my House of the Dragon script so I get ahead of myself. So I get ahead of my schedule. And it took 3 to 4, I think it took 3.5 hours to do that because there's just so much to cover. So, it's a lot of, I think that not only watching this stuff, but covering it takes up a lot of hours. Jay King says, I just wanted to say that I appreciate all the hard work you've been doing over the past couple of weeks. Going to see Woman King tomorrow. Can't wait. That's so sweet of you. I hope you have a great time. In fact, I know you will. All right, we are 10 minutes over, and I got to get going for this screening. So let me do some shout-outs. Let's do some shout-outs. So just tell me where you are, what you're doing, how's everything going. David Quevedo says, working in the office, but celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month with a potluck celebration. Oh, that just sounds wonderful. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, David, and I think that's wonderful that your office is doing that. Juan, I'm seeing Don't Worry, Darling in today's screening. I'm pretty excited about it. I'll watch this. Do you think we'll have some major DC news by the end of the year? I think you'll consistently get a slow trickle of announcements about the movies that are already in the can that they keep fiddling with. It's so stupid. I heard they were making maybe one small change to The Flash, but very tiny and like only for like the very end of the movie. But I heard not anything really big. And I was like, is it to get rid of Ezra Miller? And my source was like, I don't know. All right. So anyway, I don't think you're going to get any major DC news. The next bit of major DC news you're going to get is either the new head of DC Films or they will cancel the Snyderverse themselves so that somebody will take the job. Danny says, standing Grace Randolph in Chicago. Oh, that's very sweet of you. Belle says, daydreaming about Kiki Palmer as Rogue. You know, that's actually not bad. She certainly has that really big personality, and she could do the Southern charm, I think, quite well. Keith says, having a nice breakfast in bed while watching the live stream. Great way to start the day. Yay, happy Friday, right? Brett, watering my flowers in Kansas. Oh, that is such a wonderful thing to hear that you're doing, and I love your use of emojis. You really made me feel like I was there with you. Tanya Tyler says, hey, Grace, relaxing on my day off with this live stream. Oh, that's great. You gave yourself a 4-day or 3-day weekend. Michael says, bagels and omelets and coffee in Chicago. Ooh. Jennifer says, taking a walk in my neighborhood in Nigeria. Hi, Jennifer. Oh, that's so cool. I love being able to talk to people all across the globe, and that is so cool. I hope you're having a really wonderful morning. I love going for walks. I'm a big walker. I walk if I can reasonably walk anywhere, even if it takes me half an hour, I will do it. I love going. I love walking. Calican says, literally have nothing exciting going on. Just wanted to say hi and thanks for all you do. Oh, that's awesome. You're having a nice, relaxing day. Those are important. Thomas says, 5 cups of tea already. Are you talking about the scoops or you've had 5 cups of tea already? Let's see here. Black Widow says, it's going to be before midnight in Singapore, watching her stream before I go to sleep. That's very cute. And I like the use of emojis. You were a lot of fun today, Black Widow. I appreciated your fun comments. Rashad says, getting ready for work in lovely Las Vegas. I hope you have a great day at the spa. Let's see here. Mikey Brace is in Yorkshire, UK, getting ready for some Friday night drinks. That's right, you're 5 hours ahead. But it's still pretty early in the afternoon there, Mikey. Let's see here. Jennifer S. says it's a nice day today, and I passed by 2 dogs, so that's always a plus. Jennifer, we're so alike. When I'm on my walks, I always take, not only do I see dogs, but I always take photos of the cutest ones because I have a friend who loves dogs, and so I always send her the pictures of the dogs. I'm like, look at this one. I send her maybe too many pictures, but I see really cute dogs. Jonathan in Serald says, doing some graphic design and babysitting a cat in Argentina. That's so great. Argentina is a beautiful country. I like the cat emoji. That's right. I babysat a cat once. It was one of the best experiences of my life. I miss that cat to this day. Joshua Gray is dabbing. Hey, Josh. That was very nice of you to gift those memberships today. Thank you again. Let's see here. Ben Verona Polsky says, so excited to finally join your channel, Grace. Keep up the good work. Oh, it's my pleasure. Welcome. I'm glad you were able to finally join. Patrick G says, thanks for the stream today. Got to clean my flat. Oh, are you in the UK? I love UK slang. It's so different. Kaylin says, drinking my protein shake and watching the stream while doing marketing emails for work. This is our secret. No problem. Way to multitask. And then Middle Kids 23 said, finishing my first week of my new internship in Chicago. Good for you. Internships are so important. They're really, really important. And I'm really glad that you've got one. Patrick says, I'm in France, but from Ireland. You're in France? I'm so jealous. I love France so much. 2 of the greatest trips I've ever taken were to France twice. Paris in the south of France, and also Italy to Rome and the Amalfi Coast and Venice. Venice was beautiful. Yeah, Europe is really great. Let's see here. Chad says, watching in New York City with my Starbucks this early. You also skipped my super chat. Did I really? Watching with Marvel. He's a cute dog. Your dog is adorable. Where is your super chat? Just rewrite it, please. And then I got to get going. Ramon says, backed up with work and can't really comment, but I am loving your stream and your dedication. That's awesome. I know how it feels, Ramon. As you can see, I'm going nuts. I did not do a good job planning my schedule this week. I have got to get on top of things next week. Griffin Hammersmith says, "Hi, Grace. I've been following you since your ranking of the Disney princesses. I remember that video. Love you. My partner and my dog, Dobby, always love watching you too." Aw, that makes me so nice. It makes me feel so nice. Like I'm like kind of like a part of your family. At least I would hope so. Say hi to your partner and Dobby for me, Griffin. What did CJ write the thing? I've been saying for months to watch season 4, and now we've put it in super chat. You have to watch. That's funny. I did see you say that you Whelmed got me. And Whelmed did get me. I was impressed. No Love says, "Hi, Grace. I'm a long-time viewer, first-time member. Do you think Star Wars can survive as a brand strictly being regulated to streaming? How damaging have these recent releases been to the brand?" I think that Star Wars is iconic. It'll always be okay, but I think that it's going to be a struggle to get back to the big screen, as you're seeing. When it does come back in 2025, if it even does, that movie better be a doozy. It should be Rogue Squadron, directed by somebody else. That's clearly what it should be. All right, I better get going or I'm not going to be able to make it to my, I want to be able to get a good seat to my screening. So thank you so much for joining me on a special, very early Friday morning stream. You got to wake up with me. So you guys are the absolute best. I had such a good time as always. I will try to watch Young Justice. So don't forget, 6 p.m., the Werewolf by Night breakdown will go up, Eastern Standard Time. Then tomorrow morning, I have something else going up for you. Then on Sunday, Movie Math returns. I have to go get my phone fixed on Sunday afternoon. It was the only appointment I could get. So that will go up early so I can get to my phone appointment. And then, of course, breaking down House of the Dragon on Sunday night. I've already written my script out. We're going to have such a good time. And then also on Monday morning, I will review Don't Worry, Darling. So we got a lot happening. Square 14242. I'm sorry, I'm signing off, but I'm glad you made it. I'm glad I got to say hi to you. All right, everybody, you guys are the absolute best. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Bye. Bye, everybody.